Hello students, welcome to fourth lecture of surface chemistry. In last lecture we were discussing about the adsorption isotherm or Freundlich adsorption isotherm. According to that isotherm, with increasing pressure adsorption will increase, but eventually it will become free from the effect of pressure. At lower pressure it will be proportional with pressure, that means as the pressure increases adsorption increases, but at higher pressure values adsorption will become free from the effect of pressure. And it was mentioned that according to Freundlich adsorption isotherm you cannot explain this phenomenon. That means at certain point it will be affected from pressure, and after a certain value of the pressure it will become free from the effect of pressure. In this lecture we will discuss about adsorption from solution phase and some application of adsorption. Now solid can adsorb solutes from the solution also. That means in solution we have two different type of compounds. One will be solute and second one will be solvent. So generally solute particles feels attraction towards the adsorbents, so it will be adsorbed and we can remove it from the solution. So when solution of acetic acid in water is shaken with charcoal, a part of acid is adsorbed by the charcoal and concentration of acetic acid decreases in the solution. Similarly, the litmus solution when shaken with charcoal becomes colorless, and the precipitates of MgOH twice attains blue color when precipitated in presence of magnesium reagent, and the color is due to the adsorption of magnesium. The following observation have been made in the case of adsorption from the solvent phase. So now first of all, how can we observe adsorption? So as mentioned in first point, when a solution of acetic acid in water is shaken with the charcoal. So suppose you want to obtain Freundlich adsorption isotherm, that means we want to obtain this graph or this graph. Both requires value of x upon m versus pressure. That means you can measure the pressure of gas at different values, and so that we can plot this graph. On the second hand, if you want to obtain readings for the solution, same type of practicals can be carried out and same type of graph will be obtained. In this case, if you are using solution, then our graph will be x upon m versus c, that means concentration. Okay, so in this case our graph will be concentration versus x upon m. So how can you find the value of x? For that we need to carry out a volumetric titration. As we already done some practical of volumetrics, and from those practical we can find the unknown concentration. As for example, suppose you have NaOH and HCl, then if concentration of NaOH is unknown, then you can find it with the help of HCl, known concentration of HCl. So same type of calculation or practical can be done here. As for example, suppose you want to find the adsorption of acetic acid, then first of all exact amount or known amount of acetic acid solution will be taken. Then we will add fixed quantity or measured quantity of charcoal in it, and then after the adsorption we will find a new concentration of acetic acid with the help of NaOH. Okay, so new concentration will be obtained. Initial concentration minus new concentration is equal to adsorption or adsorbed amount or value of x for acetic acid. Now let us discuss some points of this adsorption of solution. So extent of adsorption decreases with the increase in temperature. As we increase the temperature, adsorption decreases. Why? Because it is exothermic process. The extent of adsorption increases with increase of surface area of the adsorbent. As we know, adsorption is surface phenomenon. So as we get higher surface, more adsorption will occur. The extent of adsorption depends on the concentration of solute in solution. So adsorption is a one type of process. So if reactant concentration of reactant is more, then obviously it represents more adsorption will be obtained. If you compare this situation with previous situation, that means adsorption of gas, then same type of observation will be obtained. If pressure is increased for the gases, more adsorption will occur. Instead of pressure, solutions uses concentration. So for gases, if pressure increases, same scenario will obtain for solutions with increasing concentration. So concentration increment represents more adsorption. And last point, the extent of adsorption depends on the nature of adsorbent and adsorbate. So if interaction between them is more, then it will represents more adsorption will occur, and if interaction is less, then less adsorption will occur. And generally it depends on intermolecular attraction. If adsorbate and adsorbent attracts each other strongly, more adsorption will obtain, and if they attracts each other weakly, then less adsorption will occur. Now precise mechanism of adsorption from the solution is not known, and we can use Freundlich equation mentioned for gases here, but it will be approx, not exact value. So behavior of adsorption from the solution with difference that instead of pressure, concentration of solution is taken, and that's why our equation will be x upon m is equal to kc raised to 1 by m. Instead of kp, we will use kc. So c is a equilibrium concentration when adsorption is complete. On the taking of logarithm, same type of equation will obtain as before. So in case of pressure, we will use in case of gases we were using pressure, and in this case we will use concentration. So, and now same type of graphs will obtain just like before. That means Freundlich adsorption isotherm, these two graphs represents adsorption of gas on the surface of solid, and if we rewrite P with C, that means pressure to concentration, then you will get the isotherm graphs for solutions. Now this graph will be straight line graph. So this equation 5.4 gives us straight line in graph, and that's why we can find the constants k and m from the graph just like before. Okay, so unknown value of these two constants will be obtained via graph. First you have to carry out the practical, and then by plotting a graph from the result obtained from the practical, we can find the constants. Now this can be tested experimentally by taking the solution of different concentration of acetic acid. Equal volume of solutions are added to the equal amount of the charcoal in different flasks. The final concentration is determined in each flask after adsorption. How can you find it? Via volumetric titration with NaOH. The difference in the initial and final concentration gives the value of X, and using the above equation, validity of Freundlich isotherm can be established. That means let us assume we are using three different solutions of acetic acid A, B and C in three different flasks, or let us say in three different beakers. Okay, now let us say first solution contains 0.1 molar concentration, second one is 1.5 molar, and third one is 1 molar concentration. We will add fixed amount of charcoal in it. Let us say we are adding 5 grams of charcoal in each solution. Okay, so added charcoal will absorb some amount of acetic acid from it, and the final resulting solution after the adsorption will give us value of X at a different concentration. That means at 0.1, 0.5 or 1 molar concentration, we will get X1, X2 and X3 values. M value will be fixed in all of these cases, and initial concentration, these values represents value of C. And now you have to plot the graph of X upon M against C. Okay, and from this graph you can take the logarithm of these values, and then you will get a straight line graph like this, and from the value of slope and intersection you can find the value of constants k and n. Now the application of adsorption, how can you use it? So phenomenon of adsorption finds a number of applications. Important ones are listed here. So let us discuss. So production of high vacuum. So as mentioned earlier, to obtain a comparatively clean surface is hard to obtain. Okay, because to create extreme vacuum or complete vacuum is impossible. We can create comparatively good vacuum, and to obtain more accurate results or to obtain more pure vacuum, adsorption can be used. So if first of all we will suck out the gases present in the container, and then we will place some adsorbent material which will further adsorb the remaining amount of gas, and that's why you will get comparatively high vacuum. So gas masks. So gas masks are used for the breathing purpose in coal mines, and it will filter out the poisonous gases with the help of adsorption. Right now we are much more familiar with different type of masks. So this is the sample of gas mask. So this type of mask filter out poisonous gases, and it will prevent from gas poisoning. Then control of humidity. So this is again we use this type of application regularly. As mentioned earlier, silica gel pouches are present inside the water bottles or thermos or jugs, etc. So these type of silica gel pouches will remove humidity or moisture present inside that container, and it will prevent from molds or fungus. Now removal of coloring matter from the solution. Again, we already discussed this type of use. If you want to obtain white crystals of sugar, then we will run solution of sugar will be run through the animal charcoal, and it will adsorb yellowish solute particles. Heterogeneous catalysis. Now this type of application is widely used in industrial areas. So adsorption of reactant on the solid surface of catalyst increases the rate of reaction. Okay, this point is very useful, and we will discuss it in next point in detail. That means effect of catalyst, and most of the catalyst uses surface chemistry, or it is surface phenomenon. So there are many gaseous reactions of industrial importance involving solid catalyst. Now problem with gas is gases are comparatively far away from each other. Gaseous molecules are away from each other, and that's why possibility of interaction between them is very low. And that's why if we do not use any catalyst, then quantity of product will be comparatively low and rate of reaction will be extremely slow. Okay, reaction possibility between two gaseous particles is extremely low, and that's why very slow reaction will occur. And if you want to increase the reaction, then we will use solid materials which will provide surface, and gaseous molecules will lay down on the surface of the solid, and that's why concentration will increase, and two different gaseous particles can interact with each other easily. So one example is mentioned. Manufacturing of ammonia using iron as a catalyst, manufacturing of H2SO4 by contact process, and the use of finely divided nickel in hydrogenation of oils are excellent example of heterogeneous catalysis. Now heterogeneous, hetero word represents different, homo word represents same, and hetero represents different. So heterogeneous catalysis, that means catalyst will be in different phase than the reactants. That means if reactants are in gaseous state, catalyst may be will be in liquid or solid state, then it is called heterogeneous. If they are in same phase, then it is called homogeneous. Next is separation of inert gases. Now this is again one very useful application. Now inert gases, as we know, they are inert because they do not react. Now if you want to separate two different gases or two different compounds from each other, we can use some chemical or physical methods. One of them will be higher in reactivity, and second one will be lower in reactivity. So we can separate them out via their reactivity order. But inert gases are almost non-reactive. So how can we separate them from each other? That's why from that point we can use adsorption. no matter how they are close to each other in chemical reactivity, their adsorption will be different, and that's why we can use adsorption. So due to the difference in degree of adsorption of gas by charcoal, mixture of noble gases can be separated out. Adsorption on coconut charcoal at different temperatures. In curing diseases, one of the most useful application, number of drugs used to kill germs by the getting adsorbed on them. Okay, so adsorption also decreases effect of bacteria and viruses, or even they can kill it. Froth flotation process, this method will be discussed in metallurgy unit. Froth flotation method is used to increase the concentration of ore. It is mentioned in unit 6 in detail. Adsorption of indicators. So surface of certain precipitates such as silver halide have the property of adsorbing some dye like eosines, fluorescents, etc., and thereby producing characteristic color at the end point. Okay, so that means volumetric titration also uses adsorption. And chromatography analysis, we will discuss about chromatography later, but chromatography is completely adsorption based or process or surface phenomenon. So chromatography analysis based on the phenomenon of adsorption finds a number of application in analytical and industrial fields. We will discuss about some different type of chromatography analysis methods, okay, later.